Everyone, JVD here from The Villain's Demand, bringing you another comic book review over Civil War II X-Men number 1 through 4. This is a mini-series that ties into the mega event Civil War II by Marvel, which Marvel is always known for doing a mega crossover event this summer. This does nothing for me as a story. It does kind of tie into the Civil War II storyline, where you have Storm's team, who is all for Ulysses' visions, and they're even sided with the Inhumans as Medusa is sending her information to save mutants from the Terrigen cloud. That way they will not die. And Magneto is completely against using Ulysses because he is fearful that one day these visions will lead to the enslavement or the extinction of mutants, because he is already dealing with the Terrigen cloud. As a fan of the X-Men, I wanted to read this, but I did not pick the individual issues up, nor the trade. I've read it on the Marvel Unlimited app, and that's what that thing's good for. When there's stories you want to read, but you don't want to waste the money on, Marvel Unlimited's $10 a month. Perfect for something like this, because I did not care for the story. It did nothing for me, and I really enjoyed the X-Men, so I'm kind of glad I passed on it. Now I'll kind of get into some spoiler territory. Apparently I've got to warn everybody about these, is what the other guys on the Villain's Demand keeps telling me, especially Evan the Grey and the Bearded Wonder, since they've been doing these. So I'm going to get to some spoilers. This whole book has a lot of, it starts off really good. It's in Dubai, and it's about the only good part of the book, besides my next thing I'll kind of spoil, is in Dubai, you've got some mutants. They're rich, very prosperous. They're going to watch the T-Cloud. They've got it sealed off, this room sealed off. They're going to get drunk, watch the T-Cloud come over them. And Magneto breaks in. He's rescued some mutants that they were going to let die on the street. Brings them in there so they can survive. Because he's back on his, mutant righteousness of saving mutants at all costs. Doesn't care who dies. And people that are basically catering the party, or their prime sentinels, they attack. Storm shows up because Ulysses had a vision that this was going to happen. And they destroy the mutants. And Magneto, basically, they get teleported out. They get away from Dubai before the Terrigen Mist kills everybody. And they save all these mutants. And the book starts off really good. And after that, it kind of just, it's boring. It's the typical feel from the original Civil War, where Nightcrawler leaves Storm's team because he's going to side with Magneto. Psylocke leaves his team because she is going to side with Storm. She's against how Magneto feels about this. She thinks it's for the better. So basically that's kind of what you get. And in the end, both those guys switch back teams. So it's kind of weird because there's a battle that erupts from them. But eventually, after the beginning of this book, and this is probably my only other favorite thing about the whole book, is this: you get this little rivalry between Phantom X and Magneto, and not Magneto, excuse me, Gambit. Gambit's one of my favorite X-Men, and since Phantom X has really taken a spotlight since since Scott formed the Uncanny X-Force team after Utopia, he's really gotten to get a lot of the limelight. It's really done good for his character. And you really realize how awesome and how powerful he is as a character. But Magneto sends Phantom X to spy on a new Attilan, and Storm, being fearful, sends Gambit. There's a scuffle between the two, and it's kind of funny because the guards keep thinking they're hearing it. Phantom X uses his misdirection, so they're basically invisible to the mind while they're fighting. He gets the jump on Gambit. Gambit charges his gun up to make it explode, and the guards still don't wind up finding him at the explosion. So it's kind of funny, and this kind of turns back tenfold once Phantom X escapes from Storm's team, and him and Gambit have round two, and Phantom X gets the best of him. So that was kind of my really only two parts of the books I really enjoyed. Other than this, it really doesn't have a lot to touch up on. It's really interesting with Sabretooth being on Magneto's team, and him and Psylocke kind of have a conversation when she's going to escape, and she's going to leave in their Blackbird, basically, and Sabretooth's in there, and she thinks he's there stopping him. He's like, I come out here, it's quiet, I can think, and you basically kind of think that he doesn't want to be with Magneto, but hey, like how he sees it, no one else is going to take him in. You know, what other choice does he have? Because no one can trust him. None of the X-Men trust him because basically, you know, he's a murdering, you know, bastard. That's what Sabretooth has always kind of been, even when he's tried to turn good, and even when they mind wiped him and he's lost his mind. But other than that, like I said, this story really doesn't further anything in the Civil War II plotline. It just furthers the story of the upcoming war between the Inhumans and the X-Men. And that's the thing, over the years, Marvel has tried to push the X-Men aside. Here's the Inhumans, they're going to be our new X-Men. Fans have rejected it hardcore. All the Inhuman stuff has really not sold, and the X-Men books continue to see, you know, be Marvel's, you know, top sellers. Fans love the X-Men. If anything, they are Marvel's mainstay besides the Avengers and Spider-Man. So, you know, this is what fans want. They don't want the X-Men to go the way, and it's never going to happen. And now we're in this war, and hopefully, eventually, as a whole, the Inhuman thing will die down, and the X-Men will stay in Marvel's good graces like they should be. But overall, don't read this book. I mean, if you're the die-hard X-Men fan, and maybe if you're even more of a recent fan of the Inhuman stuff, pick it up. If you're a completist and you want to read everything for this war, yeah, you should read it. But like I said, I wouldn't buy it. If you can read it on the Marvel app, do that. Or try to buy it in a trade. Don't rush out to try to have all 4 issues of this. Even though if you do, you're probably going to get them pretty cheap at a $1 box at some convention. That's what I would do. But I'm JVD. This has been my review of Civil War II X-Men. Make sure you check out all of our Civil War reviews. I've already covered Civil War II overall, the whole story. We've covered the original Civil War and even Civil War during the most recent Secret Wars event in 2015. But like I said, I'm JVD from The Villains Fan. Keep reading, guys.